Hello all. How the days are going? Especially the climate. It is changing every now and then, isn't it? So we have to be very careful about our health. So always try to drink boiled and cool water and try to eat hot food items so that we can make us healthy. So I welcome you all to the new biology class. In the previous class, you have understood how the observation material is prepared. Amala teacher has demonstrated it very beautifully. So you understood about the use of microscope, how it magnifies the images using the 10x and the 45x lenses, and you observe the tiny chambers present in the plantain root, and those tiny chambers are known as the cells, isn't it? So are you curious to know about who discovered them for the first time and how he discovered it? So let us discuss about the discovery of the cell. In 1665, Robert Hooke, when he was observing a section of cork through a simple microscope, he observed a lots of tiny chambers, and he called these tiny chambers as cells. This is how Robert Hooke discovered the cell, and he was able to observe them only because of the invention of microscope, because we cannot see these tiny chambers through our naked eye. So the invention of microscope helped the human race a lot, because we could able to see the microorganisms and study about them through the microscope. This brought a drastic change in the medicine especially, and we could able to eradicate many dreadful diseases from the earth also. So the invention of microscope that leads to the discovery of the cells, and the study of cell is known as cell biology. It is one of the important branch of science which is developing nowadays a lot. Very rapidly it is developing nowadays, and many remarkable findings open a way for the development of cell biology were made in the middle of the 19th century, and these findings are known as the milestones in the history of cell biology. So now let us discuss about the milestones in the history of cell biology. In 1831, Robert Brown discovered the center of the cell, and it is called as the nucleus. In 1838, M.J. Schleiden found that the plant body is made up of cell. And in 1839, Theodore Schwann found that animal body is also made up of cell. And in 1858, Rudolf Virchow, he observed that cells are dividing and the new cells are arise only from the pre-existing cells. So these are the important findings in the middle of the 19th century, and these are known as the milestones in the history of cell biology. And the scientists M.J. Schleiden and Theodore Schwann, they summarized these findings and they formulated the cell theory. And the cell theory puts forward two important concepts. And the first concept is all living beings' body is made up of cell. And the second concept is cells are the structural and functional units of a living being. So these are the two main concepts put forward by the cell theory. Then let us discuss about the functions performed by the cells. Cells perform many functions: resist foreign particles, release energy from the nutrients, synthesis of biomolecules. These are the three important functions performed by the cells. As you all know that cells are microscopic, we cannot see them through the eyes. Even though they are small in size, their structure is very complex and they are able to perform all these functions. because cells have their own specific parts to perform these functions. So in your previous classes, you have learned about cells and its parts, isn't it? Now let us have a look at the plant cell. So this is a plant cell. Now what you have to do is observe it, and some of the parts are familiar for you. For example, the cytoplasm, cell wall, cell membrane or plasma membrane, isn't it? So apart from these parts, what are the other parts you can observe in this figure? Just observe it and note it down. Did you all note it down? Which are those parts? They are endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, ribosome, Golgi complex, vacuole and chloroplast. You can note down nucleus also. These are the parts apart from cell wall, plasma membrane and cytoplasm you can observe in the structure of a plant cell. Isn't it? Did you all understand? Have you all noted it? Okay. Now these parts just now we discussed, isn't it? The endoplasmic reticulum, ribosome, mitochondria, all these are known as the cell organelles. That is, these are the specific parts seen inside the cell to perform the functions. So now let us discuss the functions of cell organelles one by one. So first we will discuss about the function of mitochondrion. So mitochondrion is the singular word and mitochondria is the plural. So the function of a mitochondrion is production and storage of energy, so that it is known as powerhouse of the cell. See, you all have seen powerhouses, isn't it? And from that powerhouses, electricity is distributed to our homes. The same manner, in the mitochondria, the production and storage of energy is taking place. And their number is abundant in the cells like liver, brain and muscles, because all these parts, the cells are always working. So the energy requirement is high. The next one is endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is known as the passage in the cell, which means it transports materials inside the cell. Materials like water molecules, nutrients, etc. And it also provides strength and firmness to the cell, so that it is also known as cytoskeleton of the cell. See, in our body, skeleton is there, and this skeleton provides strength and support to us, and it also provides a framework to us, isn't it? The same manner, the endoplasmic reticulum provides strength and firmness to the cell. And the third one is ribosome, and its function is protein synthesis. And ribosome is seen either attached to the endoplasmic reticulum or seen as free in the cytoplasm. Then the next one is vacuole. Vacuole is covered by a specific characteristic membrane known as tonoplast, and its function is to store excess water, salt and waste materials. And the next one is Golgi complex. Golgi complex is very abundant in glandular cells, and its function is to store the secretions like enzymes, hormones and mucus. So have you heard about enzymes, hormones and mucus? So you would have studied about enzymes in the 7th standard, isn't it? Usually enzymes are produced in the digestive glands, and these enzymes help in the digestion. And hormones are produced in the endocrine glands in our body, for example pancreas, thyroid, etc. And these glands secrete certain chemical substances, and they are known as hormones. And these hormones have great role in our body, that these hormones balance or regulate the life activities in our body. I'll explain that. See, the pancreas gland secretes the hormone insulin. So the increase or decrease in the amount of insulin may lead a person to a diabetic patient. So hope you have understood that. Now the next one is mucus. There are mucus glands in our body. This mucus gland secrete mucus. See, you all know about saliva, isn't it? Our saliva is sticky. It is because of the mucus present in it, and this mucus will help the food to easily pass through the esophagus. And one more example I will tell you. Inside the nostrils, in the nostrils are there, isn't it? And inside the nostrils, it is always wet. And this is also because of the mucus present inside the nose. And there are many mucus glands inside the nostrils, they secrete mucus, and that is why inside the nostrils it is always wet. And this mucus will prevent the dust particles and germs to enter into the pharynx. So that's all about enzymes, mucus and hormones. And all these digestive glands, endocrine glands, mucus glands, these are glands. So the cells in the glands are known as glandular cells. So Golgi complex are abundant in glandular cells because of this specific function, that is it stores the secretions, cellular secretions like enzymes, mucus and hormones. So hope you all have understood about the cell organelles and their functions. If you have any doubt, you can contact me, you can call me, no problem. And these portions are very important. You have to draw the structure of plant cell in the file. The three functions of cell also I have explained, that also you have to note down in the file. So study well, watch the videos 2-3 times and write and study the functions. It is very important. So we will meet in the next class. Thank you. Have a nice day.